U.S. Open starts on Thursday at the Country Club in Boston. Used to have a racetrack at the golf course. They used to have a lot of different things at this country club.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. I would love to have a racetrack going on when you're playing golf there, degree of difficulty. But they did have a racetrack on this, the Country Club in Boston. I think they allowed them to call themselves the Country Club because that's the first country club. Yes, Paul.
It's like Daytona has a lake in the middle. You can go fishing during a race. That's awesome. You imagine going fishing during a NASCAR race?
Brandel Chambly of Golf Channel says, as far as I know, it's never happened that an athlete has been kicked out of their Hall of Fame, but both Greg Norman and Phil Mickelson should be removed from the Hall of Fame. They've dishonored the game. They've threatened to destroy the game that they have both been so enormously profited from. I got U.S. Open odds. Anybody want to take a guess? The odds of Phil Mickelson winning the U.S. Open. Yeah, Paul.
75 to 1.
It's a little bit more than that. Todd?
I'm going to say 90 to 1.
All right. Seton?
125 to 1.
All right. Marvin?
150 to 1.
Plus 20,000.
Whoa!
Wow.
I'd take that.
I would too.
He won a major 13 months ago.
I know. Rory is at plus 1,000. John Rahm at plus 1,200. Justin Thomas plus 1,100. Scotty Scheffler plus 1,400. Xander Schauffele at plus 2,000. Dustin Johnson of the LIV players has the best odds at plus 2,800. Then Bryson DeChambeau, Kevin Na, Patrick Reed, Phil Mickelson plus 20,000. Some of the golfers got in front of a mic yesterday, and Phil, of course, talked the previous day. And you're obligated to talk at the U.S. Open. And Brooks Koepka, I thought, got a little snippy with the questions. And keep in mind, Brooks' brother is playing on the LIV Tour. This is how that Q&A started.
Is there a figure at which you would swap tours? Does that exist? Is it as simple as that?
I haven't given it that much. I haven't given it that much thought.
Really?
I don't understand. I'm trying to focus on the U.S. Open, man. I legitimately don't get it. I'm tired of the conversations. I'm tired of all this stuff. Y'all, like I said, y'all are throwing a black cloud on the U.S. Open. I think that sucks. I actually do feel bad for him for once.
Right.
Because it's a situation. We're here to play, and you're talking about some event that happened last week.
Well, there's events going to be going on now for the next foreseeable future.
I know, but you can't drive a car looking in the rearview mirror, can you?
All right. Sounded like to me, Brooks Koepka, he's got 4 majors, is saying, I probably have a price tag. And how about I get through the U.S. Open? I mean, look, they all want to deflect. Because if you're thinking about going, then you might answer that way. Because if you're not going, then you probably sound like John Rahm.
I do see the appeal that other people see towards the LIV Golf. I do see some of the points or arguments they can make towards why they prefer it. To be honest, part of the format is not really appealing to me. Shotgun 3 days to me is not a golf tournament, no cut. It's that simple. And yeah, money is great, but when Kelly and I, this first thing happened, we started talking about it. We're like, will our lifestyle change if I got $400 million? No, it will not change one bit. Truth be told, I could retire right now with what I've made and I'd live a very happy life and not play golf again.
All right. That one's pretty good. That's a traditionalist. And the same thing with Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, I think everyone in this room, and they would say to you themselves that their best days are behind them. And that's why I don't understand for the guys that are a similar age to me going, because I would like to believe that my best days are still ahead of me, and I think theirs are too. So that's where it feels like you're taking the easy way out.
He's right about that it feels like as you get older and you're less competitive, that you might take the paycheck and go. But Brooks Koepka, I can't believe that Brooks Koepka has not talked about this. If your brother goes to the LIV Tour, do you think your brother probably said, hey, Brooks, what do you think? And you're telling me that the LIV Tour didn't reach out to Brooks Koepka? I have a hard time buying that. John Rahm admitted that he was contacted, that he had contact with his, a discussion with his wife about this. And I'm sure Rory did too. Of course they would. Look, if you're reaching out to Patrick Reed or Bryson DeChambeau or Kevin Na, are you going, I'll be damned, we forgot about Brooks Koepka? That doesn't make sense. And I know that Brooks Koepka doesn't want to talk about this. It's uncomfortable. I get it. If you say, I'm not participating, there's no more questions. Then we can talk about the U.S. Open. But it's naive for Brooks to go, we should be talking about the U.S. Open. Okay, on a Tuesday? When we get to Thursday, we're going to be talking about the U.S. Open. We just had one of the biggest stories in the history of golf. A rival. This never happened. Brooks you can't drive looking in your rear view mirror. Yeah, but we can learn some things looking in our rear view mirror. You got a rival with unlimited funds. These are fair questions. It's a real topic. Yeah, don't want to talk about it. Okay, deflect. So when can I ask? I'm not going to ask you on Saturday or Sunday, but on a Tuesday, after this event just happened a few days prior? Yeah. Yes, he.
Has Brooks been doing a ton of media, too, that I've missed? They're sick of talking about it already? I'm sick of being asked about it.
I don't know. We've called for it.
Dude never does any interviews. Who the hell's asking him about it?
I know. I think when he won one of the majors, we had him on. He was very good, but I think we've had him on 2 or 3 times, and he's been really good when he joins us. It's just we usually get a surprise of, he's going to do it. I'm like, oh, good. Okay. We'd love to have him on. But I don't think you can go, hey, have some respect for the U.S. Open. Yeah. How about the guys who don't have respect for the PGA Tour who are here playing in the U.S. Open? Can we ask that question? If you don't want to play, then don't play. You sort of want to play over here, but you really want to play over there and get the money. The media has a job to ask these questions because if Brooks Koepka leaves, that's a really big deal. If he doesn't, it's a really big deal. John Rahm staying, Rory staying, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas. These are guys in their prime. Maybe you don't care about your legacy. But Brooks Koepka, do you want to join Bryson DeChambeau, your rival on the LIV Tour? And your brother's there. I think these are all fair questions. You may not like them, but they're fair questions. 877-3DP Show, email address dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle @DP Show. This is going to be a topic that stays there because it starts with 8 events, and you're playing half the events in the United States. It'll get bigger. I'm curious, they try to throw out this BS line of, hey, we're growing the game. You're not growing the game. You're damaging the game. And they can all make their individual choices. You have that opportunity, you're individual contractors. But that doesn't exclude you from when you come to the United States, back to the United States, play an event in the United States, you're going to get questions. When you play at the Open Championship, you're going to get questions. I don't know when it dissipates, where all of a sudden it just settles down and we say, all right, this is the norm. This is what is going to happen here. You're going to have guys who defect. I just want to know what happens when they get to a certain point where they go, well, we have too many guys on the LIV Tour. Because remember, it's a shotgun start. You got teams, and are you able to continue this? I don't know. What about some of these guys who are marginal that nobody is really showing up to watch? What happens when they go after the college kids and then all of a sudden they replace the older players with the younger players? What happens? You coming back to the PGA Tour? How's the gallery going to treat these players who have defected? Boston? I'm sure it'll be vocal on Thursday at the Country Club. Yes, Paul.
I saw some videos. A couple of Boston reporters were following around Phil Mickelson, and the crowds were overwhelmingly positive, Phil, on the course. Like, they're asking for pictures, asking for autographs, they're slapping hands, and Phil was acquiescing. He was talking to the crowd. He was saying, I'll take pictures after the round. I kind of have a theory that Phil Mickelson has built up a lot of goodwill with the people who actually attend golf events. Yeah. Because the people who go to these golf events, Phil was the guy who waved at him or would take a picture at the round or go by the baby and take a quick picture. And I think those hardcore fans, as upset at the concept of him leaving, still like how he treats people when he's on the golf course.
Yeah, but you wonder, because he had that for the rest of his career. He could be Arnold Palmer. He could be a man of the people. He could be the guy who gave you the smile and the thumbs up and made eye contact with you. He won a major at 50. Like he had that, and now he risked throwing that away. And look, maybe he needs the money, believe it or not. Maybe. If he lost as much money as we've been told, has been reported the last 4 years. Now, it's hard to go, Phil, you made $400 million. Yeah, I need $200 million because I've been gambling. I don't know. If he's lost $40 million in 4 years, what's he lost the previous 4 years? Or the 4 years prior to that? I don't know. But you risk throwing all that away. For what? You're not winning events. There's no competition. It's just money. I understand. You want to buy, you want to go. Hey, you'd have a price too. No, I wouldn't. Somebody said, I've had some people say, oh, you're a hypocrite. You, if they ask you to broadcast, would you? I go, no. No. The money doesn't change my life. I'm sure they asked Jim Nance, Jim, are you interested? Or Dan Hicks or, other people. Gary McCord. Like they've asked these people. But I have no interest in it. Would have no interest in it. I'm curious as a journalist, as a broadcaster, as a host, but I don't want to be part of that. I mean, the more you read about those people, they're horrible people. And yes, I know we're in business. I know that. But I just look at it as the golf stuff. It's an inferior product. You might have good players, but I'm not interested in it. I like when you have great players proving that they're great players. Not, hey, watch us hit some golf balls. It's sort of like a pro-am. Hey, come on out and have some fun.